Good morning. Welcome to a Tadpoll for Thursday morning. We're going to be talking about various things. We're going to talk about open house coming on later on this morning with Dr. Weissing. Also, we're going to talk about a little bit about the gala coming up this Saturday evening at the fairgrounds. Also, we'll be talking with Morris Engel. He'll be stopping by to talk again about the great race of Phillips County that's coming up next month, the fundraiser, and also on applying for grants with the Phillips County Community Foundation. Also, we'll have Angie Wells and probably Tammy Sauer will be stopping by to talk about some things that are going on in the Main Street, Phillipsburg, and also the Chamber of Commerce. Of course, we appreciate the fact that we can do this every Thursday morning, made possible by the many sponsors that you see mentioned here and you'll hear throughout the show. But first, let me, Doctor, I know we welcome you to Phillipsburg back as a doctor, not as a student. Let's talk about your background. Okay, where did you go to school? High school.
Graduate of Eastern Heights High School, year of 2002.
That was still Eastern Heights.
Yes.
It wasn't Thunder Ridge, okay? All right.
Went to Fort Hays State for undergraduate. Took me a little bit to figure out exactly what I wanted to do. Started out in radiology, so I was a radiology tech, and through that healthcare experience, decided I want to pursue my endeavors as a physician.
Okay, and
So
then
then-
after Fort Hays.
After Fort Hays, I went to KU Salina. I was in the first graduating class from their four-year program. KU that year that I started had expanded their four-year programs to Salina and Wichita to increase the number of graduating medical students in the state of Kansas. So trying to keep physicians here in Kansas.
Sure.
Then after medical school, I went to Smoky Hill Family Medicine Residency Program in Salina, Kansas. So main goal there is to train and retain physicians in rural Kansas.
And we talk about rural Kansas. My son went through the rural system. He said if he got to be a doctor, he would come back to rural Kansas, and that's what he did. Junction City may not be rural Kansas, but it did qualify.
Yes.
On something like he did Salina. He did work. He went through the Wichita, and then went to Salina, and then ended up in Junction City. Okay, so. Did you when you were young? Did you want to go to medicine? You talk about radiology, or
I didn't know about medicine per se, but my seventh grade year, ironically, I broke my leg in football and my arm in basketball.
Ooh, wow.
So that introduced me to radiology.
Sure.
My mother was a nurse from when I was a young child, so kind of had some introduction into the medical field. So that's how I got my start.
Okay, and Eastern Heights probably went to Thunder Ridge after you. When did they go to Thunder Ridge? You remember?
I don't remember when the consolidation happened. I kind of lost track with.
Did I do some games maybe with you basketball?
I'm sure you did. I remember the last time we did an interview would have been March of 2001.
Wow.
When we went on the New York DC trip.
Okay, all right.
So 6 months before the Twin Towers went down.
Yeah, right. You were on that one.
Yep.
And I was just there a couple of weeks ago, and they've got the beautiful museum there. It's overwhelming museum, what they've done there now. Anyway, okay, so you mentioned when I enrolled at Fort Hays, I was going to be a doctor. And after Pre-Med 101, I don't think I'm going to be a doctor.
I think that's still a common theme. I remember my intro to Kim, there was about 40 people saying they were going to go into medicine, and after that first semester, there was about 5 or 6 of us left. So there's definitely a weed out process, and it's a strenuous program.
Okay, well, so what are you doing? You're getting ready? Are you already seeing patients, or what's happening?
So I've been covering some ER coverage to help the providers out, and I am seeing some acute patients that need seen kind of for an acute nature. Beginning October 1st, I'm going to be, my schedule's opened up to established care patients. So really, and there'll still be even acute slots. So anything from pediatrics up to geriatrics, whether it's an acute illness or it's a chronic medical condition.
Wow.
Annual physicals for children, adults, preventative health care, so making sure your blood pressure is well controlled, getting your annual cancer screens. So that's the nice thing about family medicine, is it really encompasses a vast spectrum in medicine, and that's what really interested me.
Again, I don't mean to, on my son, he was ER for 30 years, and he went to family. He finally said, I'm getting out of the ER and going into family medicine. And pros and cons on both. One thing about the ER, when you're there, you're there. When you're not, you're not.
Correct.
Family practice, you're there all the time, basically.
Yeah.
You know how that goes.
Yeah, and I think that's the great thing about our providers we have now is we're continuing to build a larger healthcare team, and by continuing to add to that team, then it allows that workload to be distributed a little bit more evenly, and you're able to find that good work-life balance.
Okay. As you went to school, and what was the part that you thought was the hardest? I'm going to ask you that. It's not all hard, I know, but there are some things that may be a little more challenging than others. What was as you look back?
Well, I mean, the academic component itself in medicine is pretty grueling, but probably for me the hardest part was, because the first year and a half, my wife and my 1-year-old son were in Wichita while I was in Salina, so I was gone Monday through Friday and home on the weekends. So that work-life balance was pretty tough, and being away from family.
A lot of paperwork too in there.
A lot of testing and repeat testing and assessing and
everything. Okay, so Tara, you're here. What about the open house? What's going to be happening later on today?
Right. So later on at 11:30 through 1:30, we'll have an open house to welcome Dr. Weisinger back and get him introduced to the community and start establishing patients and that sort of thing. So you can come out. Our hospital auxiliary team is actually the host of this event, and they are great cooks, and they're providing the cookies. So you'll want to come out and grab a cookie. We'll have a raffle to sign up for, and just come on out and greet Dr. Weisinger and get to know him, and we'll be able to take your information if you're interested in getting established with him as a potential provider, or any of our other providers. We can also get you signed up there.
Okay, so that everyone's welcome to go out and.
It'll be at the hospital, so come in our new main entrance, and it'll be in the lobby right there.
Okay, that's the new entrance.
Yes.
The new entrance. That's on the east side there. How's that working out?
It's working out really well. It is. We have 2 new drop-off spots, so people are really appreciating that they can drive right up to the door and go right in, and that there's one place for registration, so we're eliminating that confusion. And so as people are getting used to it, that they're not wasting their time going to multiple doors and places, I think it'll be a long-term solution to what we are funneling people through the different departments of the hospital.
Dr. Weisinger, in making a decision to come back here, why?
Well, it was early in medicine. I was pretty set on coming here, but the longer I'd been away from Phillipsburg, and we'd been in Salina for about 7 years and kind of started to establish roots, kids in school, and so then it really became a pros versus cons. And my wife and I spent numerous hours in the evenings just kind of sitting down and laying it all out on the table, and it really came down to. We wanted to be somewhere that we felt like we could make a difference, and we wanted to raise our kids in the same type of atmosphere that we were both raised in. And so that, when you looked at that in that spectrum, it was really an easy decision.
Coming back here, and a lot of people. I remember when you were in the 7th grade. A lot of people, you get that a lot.
Yeah. Quite a bit.
Now you're a doctor now, right?
Yeah. Some people are surprised, I guess.
Again, I think my son, he grew a mustache because he looked so young, and patients come and said, "Are you really a doctor?" Because he didn't look like he was old enough to be a doctor, So he did that. So what's your favorite? If you're ever going to specialize, what would you go into? And I know your family practice, but what do you really like about being in medicine?
So I think again, family practice is diverse, but I really like. Pediatrics, really like dealing with kids, and women's health. So those are probably two of my more passionate areas, but I don't limit my practice to just those 2 areas.
Sure, right. And you'll be available October 1st then? They can call out and say,
They can, so we are filling up his spots. So call out to the clinic. It's 543-5211, and they'll get you set up starting October for those chronic conditions. So if it's diabetes, heart health, that sort of thing, an ongoing illness, then we can get established. If you're just having, like you said, an acute thing, which would be your sore throats, flu, that sort of thing, he can see you now. And any of our providers, we can get you in same day. So call out to the clinic. It might not be your family provider, but we can get you in to see somebody that day.
And that opens up sooner now. Someone can get in sooner with another. With the doctor.
And the nice thing, like he said, we're growing our team. They're all in the same building. They're all working together. So if Dr. Weisinger is your main provider, but that day he's booked or he's in the ER, not in and you see Tyler, they're going to communicate. They're going to share what's going on with your health. If Tyler has a question, he can certainly get that to Dr. Weisinger right away. So everybody works together well, and we're really rounding out our team. We've had Jennifer Hammond's here now for, I think, 11 or 12 years. Dr. Ben's been with us for going on 7 years.
Wow.
It doesn't seem he's been here that long, but he has been seeing patients here for 7 years. And then we've added Tyler, Shelley, and Robin, and they've both been, all of them have been here now a year or two each, and establishing their practices and getting going and getting implemented into the community. And you know, Tyler's my next door neighbor, and my kids love seeing him in the neighborhood, love seeing him at the clinic. And now we get to add Dr. Weisinger, who's board certified and brings a lot of different expertise to it. Like we're having a baby hopefully in a week. Countdown's on. And so I'm excited that there's somebody here that really is interested in pediatrics and childcare and that sort of thing.
Okay, right. Hey, Doc, I've got this. You get that much? I've got this shoulder thing. You get that a lot?
Yeah.
Got a rash I can show you?
Yeah.
Try to keep. It's a tough, in a small community, can be kind of a tough line to draw, but try to keep personal and professional separate. So always encourage them to give the clinic a call, and the girls will take care of them.
Yeah, because that happens a lot. I guess, hey, Doc, can you look at this thing? And if you're at a party or something, okay. That's interesting because it happens, And all right, I'll talk to Dr. Weiss a little more here. But you want to talk a little bit about coming up the gala coming up this?
Yes. So this Saturday at the 4-H building, the Phillips County Healthcare Foundation will be hosting the second annual Dueling Pianos Gala. And so you get a night of entertainment. They are such a fun group. And a lot of people have been asking, what is Dueling Pianos? They don't know what it is. You have 2 entertainers that are fabulous musicians that don't need music to read. You shout out a song, they start playing it. And they sing and they get the crowd involved. You might be up dancing, you might be singing. It's about a 2-hour show that they put on, a little longer than that. And then we also are going to have heavy hors d'oeuvres throughout the night. So for your ticket, you get lots of food, you get lots of drink. We'll have beer, wine, some other spirits available, and then iced tea and water and all that good stuff as well. So for your ticket, you get a nice evening out. It's a semi-formal event, so your church clothes or what you would wear on a night out on the town, come on out. And tickets are still available, and they'll also be available at the door.
And it's for a good cause.
It's for a very good cause. The Phillips County Healthcare Foundation supports all of the local healthcare entities here in Phillips County. So Logan Manor, the hospital, the health department, the wellness center. I know I'm leaving some off, but lots of them. So, yeah.
Remember, that's Saturday night, fairgrounds, and you can buy tickets, or you can. Where can you get the tickets?
You can get them at First National Bank, Ames Law Office, Mapes and Millers, or American Family Insurance, and then we'll also have them at the door, or any of the board members. If you know who's on the board, you can ask them for tickets too.
All right. Very good.
So we'll be there.
That's
we'll
coming
be
up.
having a good time.
All right, fine. That's coming up Saturday evening. Well, we hope that you have a lot of people show up this morning, Dr. Weisinger.
Likewise.
And welcome back to Phillipsburg. And how long have you been back?
About a little over a month.
Okay.
Yep.
So y'all settled and everything?
As settled as can get thus far.
Your family, you mentioned how many children do you have?
So I've got a son that is 8. He's in 2nd grade.
Okay.
So he's enjoying Mrs. Babcock quite well.
Okay, all right.
Getting along with all the new friends. And then I've got a daughter that's 1.
Okay, all right. And where was your wife? Was she from around here?
Yep, so born in Phillipsburg, graduate of Eastern Heights as well.
Okay,
Yep.
all right. So it's just, everyone's back home, right?
Yep.
Okay, but we hope that a lot of people show up and have a great practice here. And I don't know what they call it practice, you're doing it. That's a misnomer, you pretty know what you're doing. Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thanks
Doctor.
for having me on.
Thank you.
Dad.
And you're going to go out, what time's that again?
It's 11:30 to 1:30. So over your lunch hour, come on out to the
Okay,
hospital.
at the hospital. Just go in the east entrance and meet Dr. Weisinger and have some goodies and your raffle.
Yep, we'll have
very
prizes
good.
and all kinds of stuff.
Very good. Thank you. All right, I hope that outside the door here is Morris Engel. We'll see. We'll take a break and we'll be back and talk with Morris about some things going on with the Phillips County Community Foundation.
Your dreams have been our dreams since 1884 when we first opened our doors. This is Lloyd Culbertson for First National Bank and Trust. It's a place filled with friends and neighbors who want nothing more than seeing you happy and better off. First National Bank and Trust in Phillipsburg, Logan, and Long Island, Smith County Bank and Smith Center, Solomon Valley Bank, Beloit. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi.
We're looking for insurance.
Let's see who's free.
When insurance agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a trusted choice independent agent is free to shop many companies for a better deal. Free to do what's right for you.
Let us shop for you. Contact Rogers & Associate to learn more.
And back on the Tadpoll this morning, talking to Morris Engel. And Morris, a lot of things going on right now at the Phillips County Community Foundation. Of course, the great race of Phillips County, and we'll talk about that a little bit. Also, you can now file your grants, right? Requests.
Absolutely. Go to the Phillips County Community Foundation.org website, and it'll have a grant category, and you click on that, and it'll guide you to the online application. And these are available for all nonprofits in Phillips County, churches, governmental units, school projects, that sort of thing. So we're anxious to.
This makes it possible for you to get money, and you file the grant, and it's a lot easier.
Oh yeah,
to file a grant now.
Everybody talks about writing a grant.
Yeah.
You had to submit everything, but in paper and 3 copies and all that. But this is just a simple fill in the blank online. I mean, you have to have your project put together and in mind, but very simple once you've got the background put together. Then you do need a budget. If you're going to spend money on buying something, you need to show what it's going to cost and that sort of thing.
And then after the grants are applied for and then they're approved and everything, then we get a chance, $50,000.
Right.
And that's fun.
Yes, that is
It
fun.
really is fun. Like as we said before, giving away someone else's money.
Right,
is
and
always-
and there's such neat projects.
Oh, yeah. Right.
We do have to do a little picking and choosing, and maybe not giving total amount, but just to make the money go farther. But it's just such a great thing for Phillips County. We really appreciate it.
And of course, the great race of Phillips County is why to do that, to raise the $50,000 that's matched.
Right, and that will build our unrestricted endowment. We can use the income from that fund for whatever we decide or the board decides. So yeah, on October 7th at 1:30, the gun goes off at the high school football field, and the races will take off, and they will have a course around town. They'll do challenges, mostly fun, a little bit athletic, but not too bad. And the first team across the finish line back at the stadium wins and gets $500 towards the nonprofit of their choice. So not only will you have a fun afternoon, but you'll could win some money for your favorite cause.
Okay, now how are the teams looking?
They're coming in now. The excitement's building. We have
that competition.
Yeah. Probably, I think we're up to 5 or 6 from Phillipsburg, a couple from Logan,
Wow.
and we have several teams that are just now beginning to form. And I think people are seeing, the foundation did a lot for whatever it was, their cause. This is a chance to give back and to participate. So we're getting some of that now that we've built up a reputation and some history.
Okay, so what happens? Each team gives so much. How's that work?
Yes, the team gets a sponsor, typically a corporate sponsor like a business. It costs $2,000. That money goes to the foundation to be matched by the Hansen Foundation. And then that team gets to compete and have the fun of it and represent their sponsor in the race. So we just, there isn't exactly gloves slapped on their face, but there is some challenge
sure,
within
right, yeah,
teams, you know.
right, yeah.
So it's fun to see
Yeah,
that too.
and how many, 4 on a team?
4 on a team, and you can have 2 on the team that can be 12 to 18 years old. So it's not strictly
Sure.
for adults, but and I think this year with the challenges are fun but not real strenuous, so we can take pretty much from 12 on up to whatever.
Okay,
you know,
so if you have 25 teams at 2,000 apiece, that's the 50,000.
that's the 50,000.
But
right?
if you don't get 25, are there other ways, or do you also have corporate?
Right, yeah, exactly. We'll be making calls. We have other foundations who consider giving, and so we have the entire month of October to raise 50,000. So if we're pretty close, midway, why we can knock on some doors and remind others. And you know, people are very generous. They want to give, and if you just give them an outlet and a way, then and if you give $500, you're really giving 1,000.
Sure,
So it's
right.
pretty impressive.
Yeah, and it's amazing. You look around the community, what has been, the schools have been helped out, the planters, beautifying the Phillips. That's a great idea.
Well, all of the communities,
Right,
really,
yeah.
yeah. The school, the downtown businesses. We have a new Fort Bissell riding arena. You know, the announcer's
sure,
box,
yeah.
the fencing, and that sort of thing. So really, anywhere you look in the county, there's a touch from the foundation. And if you play golf in Logan or ride in the arena over there, there's a bathroom there now.
Yeah.
So, not solely due to the foundation,
Yeah,
but we certainly
part
helped
of it,
out
and
with
that's
it.
you know,
Absolutely, yeah.
Because some of the projects are really big, and there's different foundations that help out on something.
One of the interesting things that came up last time, if you'll remember, Fort Bissell is inventorying their archives and their collections properly with the latest software, and so we help fund the purchase of the software.
Wow,
So
okay.
now when you give grandma's chafing dish and a history of it, it will be logged into a computer system and tagged
Wow.
properly, and it will be
You've got an inventory. You know,
yeah, and you know what you've got down there
Wow,
and that sort of
that's
thing.
great.
So Ruby is, she wrote the grant and is really excited to get funding for that, and they're starting with the most current acquisitions, and then they'll go back and pick up all the historic
There's a
stuff.
lot out there.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Well, and that's why you need
Sure, right,
state-of-the-art
yeah.
inventory equipment.
Okay, so and it being at the meetings, some of the challenges are, they're going to be fun. you
For the
know.
race challenges, yeah.
The race challenges are really going to be fun.
Yeah,
And they lip sync. There's some discussion on lip sync.
Right, we're trying to kind of got to get the race out of the way.
Yeah.
But then we'll have we're planning at the end of the month, a lip sync contest for, that would appeal to the younger people.
Yeah. Have a
And,
little fun doing
yeah,
it. Yeah.
right.
Do you ever lip sync anything?
Only in the shower when nobody was at home.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You know, you try to do those things. So, Phillips County Community Foundation it is, and next week we'll have maybe some.
Yeah, we'll have kind of the final count.
Count of the teams
Yeah.
and everything. So we'll be that a
Right.
week from today, and look to see how things are, and then. That's the day after the Old Settlers Day parade.
Yes, yeah.
So-
You can go down and enjoy all the activities on Saturday, and then go to church and
Yeah.
be out at the stadium at 1:30 and be ready to cheer for your team.
I'm Grand Marshal this year of the Old Settlers Day
Well,
parade in Kerr.
congratulations. That's
I don't know if
great.
that interests. I don't know. I have to throw out candy or what, you know. But
I think you
but-
just wave.
But,
you know.
yeah, all right. But I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
you know.
that's
So
super,
anyway,
yeah.
then the next day is the big race.
big
there.
race,
Okay,
right,
very
and
good.
you'll-
Okay, well,
You're going to be our MC, so
yeah, right. And
you'll be participating
It'll be a
in
fun
that.
thing. All right.
Yeah.
So, well, thanks for coming by.
You bet.
This morning.
We're looking forward to it, and
we'll
if
see you
anybody-
next week and get a final
Yeah.
tally of what's going on.
And if you're interested in a team or sponsorship, just call us at the foundation, and we'll get you all set up.
And
So,
you tell them how to do it and
right, what
and
it
it's-
involves.
and have a lot of fun. Get a little competition, you know. and-
And not only is your money doubled when you donate, it stays here, it's in
Yeah.
an endowment, which means it's permanently in an account, earns money, and then we'll hand it back out
Sure. And
to,
make it-
for good projects.
Makes Phillips County a better place to live.
Absolutely.
Okay, fine. Thank you,
All right.
Morris. Morris Engel with us this morning of the Phillips County Community Foundation. We'll be back, and I don't know, Angie and Tammy might be out there. We'll be back and see if they are after you take this time out.
Coombs Incorporated in Phillipsburg, offering local and long-distance hauling, complete shop service, including an automatic aluminum polisher to restore and refurbish those aluminum truck rims to a mirror finish, and 24-hour towing service. Now hiring over-the-road drivers traveling 48 states. Excellent benefit and pay package. See Coombs Incorporated on Facebook. Coombs Incorporated. You call, we haul.
On the Tadpoll this morning, we're going to be talking about some things going on involving the Main Street and also the Chamber of Commerce. So Angie Wells with us and Tammy Sauer with us this morning and talk about what's happening. First, tomorrow you have a ribbon cutting and,
Yes.
and coffee.
We have coffee in the morning in the Fisher Building in our office at 7:30 in the morning. Everyone's welcome to come, and we just sit around and have coffee and learn about a whole bunch of things that are going on in the city, in the town, in the county. It's just really informational. It's just a lot of fun. Coffee and donuts or coffee and muffins, just depends on what I get. And then at noon, we will have a ribbon cutting for State Line Properties, which is down on 4th Street, right there. I don't know the address for sure, but it's where Sunburst used to be.
Okay.
So
all
it's
right.
in there, yep. And so it's State Line Properties. Sean Phelps is going to be, he's the new owner of State Line Properties, and so we're going to have a ribbon cutting for him.
Okay, that's tomorrow
That is tomorrow at noon.
at
Yes.
noon. Okay, so
Uh-huh.
show up and
Yep.
have your picture taken.
Yes,
Again,
yes,
get
please.
the thing. All
Yes.
right, all right. Car cruise coming up.
Car cruise
the
is
day after tomorrow.
Right, it's coming up on on Saturday, the 22nd, and so it will be from 6 to 9. From 6 to 7, you can be out at the courthouse square, and all the cars will be lined up, and you can look at all the pretty cars and everything. And in case Tammy and I are not there, we have some things going on. Mr. Munyon is going to be out there, and he is going to be the greeter.
mayor's out there.
Yeah. And so we're going to have that on Saturday night from 6 to 9, and then you do the cruise from 7 to 9.
That's
So,
driving around
yes,
town.
just
and-
driving around town and having a good old time and just.
Do you have to have a
looking all-
1904 Ford or?
No, you can drive whatever you want. You can drive your white van. I can drive my white Journey, and Tammy can drive her blue car. So we can just, but we're not going to be here, so we'll see.
Okay.
I don't know.
And this is the chamber doing this or Main Street?
No, it is the Phillips County Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Okay.
Yes, so that is Phillips County Convention and Visitors Bureau. And then the next thing I'm going to let Tammy talk about is our first annual Take a Ride on the Wild Side. So
That's a great idea. I wish I could. That'd be fun to ride
it
a bike.
is fun. It is really
Okay.
a lot of fun.
Tammy, when's this all taking place?
October 6th, Saturday, October 6th, during Old Settlers Day down in Kerwin. So, yes, we are going to start off at the Quonset there as you're coming into Kerwin. We'll have a short 6-mile ride or a 31-mile ride for more experienced cyclists. So Angie and I have gone out and we've rode the 6-mile.
You didn't do the 21?
Well, we did part of it. Yeah, we did
31?
part of it.
Wow, that's
yeah.
more than a marathon.
We did it part of it last week, and fought the wind, and that was a little treacherous, but yes,
Yeah.
it was.
Are you gonna try to do the whole thing?
No, we're going to register. We're going to take, we're
Registration.
going to be in the building and we're going to say, "Oh, good luck. Have so much fun."
Okay.
We're the cheerleaders.
Okay, and get out there. And how's it? Is there pre-registration coming
Yep.
on pretty good?
Yes, we've got quite a few out-of-towners that are coming
Wow,
in for
that's
it.
great.
So, yeah, we're excited over that.
And
so,
some locals.
Yes.
So we need more people.
So basically, the 31 mile, is that just around the lake or where?
It takes you all around the reservoir. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yep, you start off at the Quonset, you go down and around, there's 4 miles out on the highway, and then you turn and go south, and it'll take you down on the south side of the reservoir and back up across, not across the dam, but
Sure.
yeah, on the other side of the dam and back into town. So
Wow.
lots of hills, lots of winding roads, chalk roads, gravel roads, dirt roads.
Have a chance to
But
See some
beautiful
eagles,
scenery,
the
yes.
eagles and
Well, I don't know about
fall-
the eagles, but we see.
There's eagles out there.
We saw a blue heron flying around. We've seen geese. We saw a deer. We
Yes.
saw, the prairie dogs.
Prairie dogs, and that's what I was
Yes,
saying.
and the ground squirrels.
They
And
come up and look at you, the prairie dogs come out and stand and look
Yeah.
at you. That's amazing.
It is very fun. It was fun
It was
to,
neat.
and there are times where you're going up a hill and you think, oh my goodness, and then you reach the top of that hill and you see the view and you're like, oh,
So
yeah.
worth it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm finally here, and then you
Yeah.
keep going and
Yeah.
stuff. So it's going to be a really, really neat event. So I hope that a lot of people want to do it. You don't have to have a $1,000 bike. I mean, mine's a Walmart bike that and
Sure.
it's been working just fine. So it doesn't matter what kind of bike. You could even, if you want to bring the little kids and do the 6 and they're in the tricycles and whatever, and you want to walk it with them, it's fine. There's not really any rules. I mean,
No,
except for
no.
no 4-wheelers, none of that. I'm just kind of bike things.
And
Is
we-
the shorter one, is that around town, or you go out a little bit?
No,
No, that's
that's-
along the water too. It's just that short route, as you come in from town and you go down around, trying to think of the name of
Go
is it
back.
Warrior Road, and you go back up around by the cemetery and back
Okay,
into town.
right.
Mhm.
Well, you can go
But it
and
takes
then
you right along the
dam,
edge of the water, yes.
down by the dam, and then you come back
Okay,
up, and
sure.
then you go around and around and around, and then you come back to town. So it's really, really cool.
And we will have water stations set up. So,
Okay,
and
sure.
at each one of the
Educational.
stations, Kerwin National Wildlife Refuge has made posters where they'll have a QR code where you can scan it with your phone, and there will be a 30-second video that will let you know more about the refuge, about the types of animals, the types of plants, the types, what you can do out there. So, yeah.
I've always said that Kerwin Reservoir is the best kept secret around this part.
Yes, it is.
is,
It
it
is.
And a lot of water in it now, too. There's water
Yeah.
there for a while.
And
so-
normally, this time of year, they have a lot of their roads closed. At
Mm-hmm.
the 1st of October, they close them, but they are leaving them open just for this,
Wow,
so people
that's
can
good.
go explore. So, yeah, it's gonna be a good
They're
thing.
closed because of the migration and they don't want to bother the ducks and the geese and everything like that.
Right. So they're just going to keep it open a week longer.
Okay, so, well, all right.
Yeah, it's
It
really
sounds
fun.
like you've got things going. Are you starting to look at Halloween yet?
No, not yet. Probably wait till next month. But we do have, I wanted to mention another ribbon cutting at
Okay.
the last week of September
Mm-hmm.
for the chiropractic center. So, and that's going to be at noon
Okay.
on Wednesday.
Okay.
So, yeah, so people can write down the 21st and write down the 26th.
Okay. and-
Ribbon cuttings at noon.
All
So
right.
please come
All right.
and help these new businesses, and show your support.
You know what would be neat? Someone's phone was ringing here. It's not mine. Everyone looks at. I left mine at home, but I know it's not mine. I left mine.
I got it.
Okay, all right. It'd be kind of neat. Maybe next Thursday morning, come on, talk about, and maybe get someone here. I'll call and see maybe get someone here from wildlife. They could come on and be on too.
I think that would be great.
And
Yeah.
talk about some things. going on. So
Yeah.
we'll see if we can work that out. there.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Okay, and then
So-
you
I
come
think
on
so.
too?
Yeah.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right, we'll plan on, make
Yeah.
one big happy.
One big
Party.
happy
Okay,
party. That's
okay.
right.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
And-
it's going to be great. We are taking registration right now. Early
Okay,
registration will get you the T-shirt and the meal for the day of the ride. So,
And how much registration fee?
$30
Okay, and that-
for adults.
It gets you the whole thing.
Yeah. The ride, the T-shirt, and then food.
Yeah, there will
Food.
meal,
Food.
yes,
Yeah.
there's a meal afterwards, because we hear that once cyclists ride, they are very hungry.
Yes.
So we are planning a high-calorie meal, if you're not.
Like a brunch or a
Yes.
lunch. We don't really know right now. And then
Oh,
plus there'll
31
be
miles, how long will that take?
We have heard a couple hours,
Okay.
so,
2 hours.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Me, a
It
couple
starts
of-
at 8.
Me, a couple of months, maybe.
Yeah.
A couple of years. But
Yes.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Take a ride on the wild side. Where'd that name come? Where'd that come from? Tammy? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
Tammy thought of
Yeah.
that.
I like the
so
deer with the wheels there.
She
That's
designed that, and that's going to be
Yeah.
on the T-shirts and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And so
Is
it's
that a
kinda-
squirrel or a muskrat or something?
It's a squirrel running along the
Squirrel.
bottom.
Yeah, and
the
there's some geese up
Yeah,
there.
wow,
and
that's
the,
very
the
good.
deer pedaling on the wheels and stuff. So
Okay.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
All right. Okay.
So, but we're gonna have as soon as the shirts get done, we're gonna start wearing the shirts.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully next week when we're here, we'll have the shirts.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll work on, is it the state or the federal people doing this out there?
It'd be
It's
like
federal.
Jeff,
Melissa or Jeff would be the ones
Jeff
to get a hold
Dunlap,
of.
you know, he's been
Okay,
here
yeah,
before,
right,
and
yeah,
then, or
okay.
Melissa Johnson.
I'll check with them.
Give them-
All
yeah.
right, very good.
Yeah.
See if
Yep.
they have them on here to talk about with you guys. All right, well,
Okay, perfect.
we hope that a lot of people show up for the ribbon cutting and the coffee tomorrow and the ride around town on Saturday night.
Yes, great.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you going to ride around town
When?
Saturday night?
I don't know.
Cruise, okay.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. We'll see.
Ride your
We'll
bicycle.
see who picks me up. I don't
Okay,
know.
all right. Thanks,
Okay.
thanks for coming on this
Thank
morning.
you.
Okay. Well, another very interesting show here this morning on the Tadpoll. We do appreciate everyone taking time to stop in and let us know what's going on. And we'll be back next Thursday morning. I know we're going to talk about the barbecue out at the Fort Bristol, the cook-off. Yeah, the chili cook-off out there. We'll be doing that. We'll also be talking about Ride of the Wild Side and some other things. So we'll see you next Thursday morning here at 9 o'clock on the Tadpole. Saturday, I will be out of town. But Doug Valley is going to be the host. I don't know who he's going to have as a co-host. Might be bring Bill Self in, or maybe someone from Kansas State to help him. But anyway, we'll have J.B. Covington on also. We'll have Logan Palco football will be on Saturday morning from the bakery. So, and then we'll be back then that next Saturday. So you have a good week, and we'll talk to you next Thursday morning on the Tadpole.